submitted for your approval. It's a hot, sweaty summer night. You're out for a good time. While crossing Willow Street, you suddenly feel a cool, gentle breeze. Your curiosity is aroused, and you head straight into the wind. The temperature suddenly drops. You notice a club sign dead ahead. It's Jimmy's, and you draw it inside. You're about to enter the cold zone.
And then we try to get things...
Kevin Radecker talks about the cold.
Now, as far as individually goes, I'll just run down each member of the band. Is that okay? Well, I'll start alphabetically. That's the fairest way to go about it. Vance DeGeneres is our bass player. And Vance, as most of y'all know, was one of the co-creators of the Mr. Bill character. Now, Vance also claims to have had several other varied careers, you might say. Most notably as an evangelist preacher.
Friends, the Talpo swing evangelical crusade does not limit itself to television studios with its electrical apparatus. We can bring it out here to you if the need be. Today, friends, the need be.
I guess Vance has always had a knack for working with people.
How are you today, Mr. Bum? I don't say bum, looking down at you.
Now, whether any of this...
Kevin Radecker talks about the cold.
But moving along to our next alphabetical order person, that would be Chris Luckett, the drummer of the band. Now, Chris drummed with the Normals a couple of years ago. It's about 2 summers ago when they were the hottest new wave band in New Orleans. He beat the Skins for the Normals. They moved up to New York. They broke up. Chris came back to New Orleans and he joined us, which was our good fortune. He played about a year and a half for them and quit and then joined up with us. Now, next on the list is Barbara Menendez. She's the only girl in the band. She plays organ and sings. She's just a couple of years out of high school. She went to New York, studied acting, studied dancing, came back to New Orleans, and started taking some acting roles.
I wonder if I'm pregnant.
This special moment comes to just about every woman at one time or another. Now there's a fast, effective way to find out if you're pregnant. It's the new pregnancy mood ring, and it can be worn in the privacy of your home. Just put the ring on anytime you want to check up on personal matters. And if the ring glows white, why, that means you're not pregnant.
Hey, Tony? Yeah, this is Sherry. Sherry, remember me? I met you last month. Listen, I got wonderful news.
The new pregnancy mood ring for special moments in your life.
Number 1, what is your name?
My name is Captain Rodney P. Blumenthal.
Number 2, what is your name?
My name is Captain Rodney P. Blumenthal.
Number 3, what is your name?
My name is Captain Rodney P. Blumenthal.
Once again, it's time to play Not to Tell a Lie. And now, here's the host and star of our show, Don O'Day.
I will now read the captain's affidavit. I, Captain Rodney P. Blumenthal, Scourge of the 6 Seas, have pirated and plundered, or have made plans to pirate and plunder 133 ships. This being over a period of a little more than 10 years. I command a crew of 84 men and 5 women. My vessel, the gregarious Philanthropist, boasts 10 cannon and 8 sails and is 175 feet in length. Signed, Captain R.P. Blumenthal, Scourge of the 6 Seas. Hi, everybody, I'm Don O'Day. Let's meet our guest panel, shall we? First, we have noted children's author, Mr. Freddie Sanders. To his left, Lonely Hearts columnist and specialty curio shop owner, Dorothy Simwip. And finally, we have ex-pro boxer turned nightclub singer, Clarence Bluto Belchain. Let's start the questioning with Mr. Sanders.
Number 1, you said you have 10 cannon on your ship. How are they arranged?
Well, actually, I have 10 slots on each side for cannons, but I only have 10 guns. So I cover the empty slots with antique shutters of mahogany. So I have 5 on each side with a shutter in between each cannon.
Number 3, how are your cannons arranged?
Well, I can tell you that's a lot of malarkey she's saying there. I've got 4 on each side, and I put a couple in the back in case we're being chased, you know? And I don't use no sissy shutters.
Let's move the questioning to Mrs. Simwip.
Number 2. There are 84 men in your crew, but there are only 5 women. Do pirates believe that women are inferior sailors?
No, ma'am, not at all. In fact, quite to the contrary. Right now, we're in the middle of a big recruitment campaign to try to get more women into the whole pirate thing. In fact, there's going to be a big half-page ad in the newspaper tomorrow concerning this.
Number 3. How do you feel about women sailors?
No, I can tell you this. The 5 females in my crew are there for a couple of things only, and that's it. To cook and scrub down the galley. It's a big mistake to let a wench anywhere near a sail, I can tell you that.
Well, let's go to Mr. Belchain.
Oh, in your affidavit, number 3, you claim to be the scourge of the 6 seas. But what happened to the 7th sea?
Well, I don't believe I can tell you.
Well, number 2, what is a mizzenmast?
I don't believe I know.
Number 1, same question?
Oh, that's where you hang your wet laundry to dry.
Once again, Mr. Sanders.
Number 2, do you still use the term I, me, bucko very much these days?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mrs. Simwip.
Number 1. Do you make your prisoners walk the plank?
Yes, I do. But right now I'm getting rid of my old wooden plank. It's all rotten and everything. We're getting a new plexiglass model, and I think it'll give the prisoners more flexibility and a springier send-off.
Mr. Belchain.
Number 3, is the song Yo Ho Ho and a Bottle of Rum still the Pirates theme song?
Aye, matey, that it is, and a great song it is. How about a chorus? 16 men on a dead man's chest, yo ho ho.
Thank you. Number 2, same question?
I beg to differ with number 3. Myself, along with several other prominent pirates, have contracted Barry Manilow to write a new pirate theme song, something a little more up-to-date, something to do with today's world. And we're negotiating with the captain and Tennille to do the 45, possibly an album in the near future.
Time for Mr. Sanders.
Number 1, what does to keel haul somebody mean?
Oh, that means to repair their shoes.
Number 3, do you agree with that?
Lion to the stars! When we keel haul a bloke, you take and you tie his feet and hands together, see? Then you take a long hunk of rope, you attach it to him, and you drag him onto the ship a couple of times. Then you repair his shoes.
Well, thank you, contestants. This is going to be a hard one. We'll be right back. Oh, we're back. We're playing Not to Tell a Lie, trying to find out who the real Captain R.P. Blumenthal really is. Let's continue the questioning with Mrs. Simwip.
Well, thank you. Number 2. What port do you use as your base of operation?
We use the San Diego Wharf Complex. That's where our main offices are located, and we usually dock there about once every 2 months.
Number 1, what about you?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. San Diego.
Number 3, what port do you call home?
No. You won't get me to betray me, crew. I'd rather die first. Why, you could torture me for days, stick burning embers in me eyes, chop off me fingers. You can wash me hair with shampoo and not even use a cream rinse or conditioner. You won't get a peep out of me.
Mr. Belchain.
Number 1, in your affidavit, you said that you had been a pirate only 10 years. What did you do before being a pirate?
Oh, I was in the dry cleaning business.
Number 3?
That's correct. I was a dry cleaner.
Well, panel, I'm afraid our time's up for questioning, and all 3 of the contestants have done a very fine job fielding the questions, I thought. And now it's up to you to decide who do you think the real Captain R.P. Blumenthal really is. Mrs. Simwip, we'll start the voting with you, if we may.
Well, I thought they were all good, but I'm just going to have to go with number 2. He just looks more like a pirate than the other 2.
Mr. Sanders.
Well, I was going to vote for number 2 also, but he didn't know what a mizzenmast was. And number 3 is using a half Windsor for a knot in his tie, and I don't think a true pirate would know how to tie a half Windsor, so I voted for number 1.
Mr. Belchain.
Oh, I have to agree with Mrs. Simwip. I think number 2 does look more like a pirate to me, so I'll go for number 2.
Okay, so we have 2 votes for number 2 and 1 for number 1. And now, will the real Captain R.P. Blumenthal please stand up? Oh. Gosh, I was wrong, too. Captain Blumenthal will talk to you in just a moment. But first, let's find out who our other contestants really are. Number 1, who are you and what do you really do?
My name is Catherine Stool, and I'm Miss Las Vegas.
Number 2, who are you?
My name is Bob Fellow. My friends call me Sparky. I work for the phone company.
Well, you did a fine job, and we have some nifty gifts for both of you. Captain Blumenthal, you really had us fooled, and you really were in the dry cleaning business.
Aye, that's correct, Don.
Did you find it a hard transition?
No, Don, to tell you the truth, it seemed like a natural progression, and I took a correspondence course.
Well, thank you very much, Captain Blumenthal, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time on Not to Tell a Lie. Bye now.
Back before
Kevin Radecker talks about the cold.
Now, getting down to Bert Smith on guitar and myself on guitar, we started the band. A couple of years ago, we started as a send-up of punk rock. We did a video thing out at UNO where we called ourselves Totally Cold. We tried to think of a name more ridiculous than the next guy's name. We played our songs as fast as we could, and we sang as off-key as we could. The results were Totally Cold!
Vance, would you run through the Rod Serling bit, please?
Oh, you want me just to run lines or something?
Right.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Witness, if you will, a dungeon for a man named Henry Bemis. It's a rather minor component to a hot July afternoon.
I think we're having a little problem getting it across.
I got the tie. And,
the tie looks great. The suit looks great, but just isn't coming across. Kevin, think maybe you could come up here and help Vance out a little bit with this.
Yeah, the Rod Serling thing?
Yeah, Kevin. I got the tie.
Yeah, the tie's fine. The axle a little off. How about something like a rather minor component to a hot July afternoon? Because after 3 o'clock this afternoon...
Thank you, Kevin. That just isn't it. Barbara, you think maybe you could help Vance with this, please?
Oh, sure.
I'm doing the Rod Serling thing.
Rod Serling.
Yeah, I got the tie.
Oh, groovy tie. No, this is it. There's a fifth dimension beyond which is known to man. It's a dimension of sight.
Thank you, Barbara. It's just not it. Vance, just go ahead and run through it yourself, please. Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, okay. You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. Because after 3 o'clock this afternoon, you'll be stopped by...
That's really good. It sounds just like him.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot, Chris.
It's a great Clark Gable.
We got it. I know, we got it. Here we go. It goes like this. A rather minor component to a hot July. Because after 3 o'clock this afternoon, really something. And Johnny, you said that you love me. You said that you like to live.
Good, I got the
But you
tie.
never took me anywhere, Johnny. You said...
I've come to berry season.
You said very...
The evil.
You said we would live together for a lifetime. You treated me like dirt, Johnny. You treated me like I was dumb. Like I was nothing. Like I was no woman at all, Johnny. But I want you, Johnny. I want you now, Johnny. We can live happily ever after, Johnny. I don't know what to do anymore.
And that about wraps up the whole band situation. Now, if I could, I'd like to talk just a little bit more about myself. I was born in New Orleans. My father was born, raised in New Orleans. My grandfather got to New Orleans about the same time that Crawfish did. You know, as far as being in this band, you know, some bands, they come into some markets and they play top 40 music that's on the radio, and that's all they do. I can't stand that. That's why I like being in the cold. It's something more artistic. It's like when I take my dog out to the park on a Sunday afternoon and I take pictures of it. It's something I do for myself. It's artistic. Homegrown.